Hello, my dear future child accountants. This is CH in my Hegde. Uh, I'm getting quite a few comments from various places. SFM Old Syllabus paper, nobody have the courage to respond. I did not want to respond to that because I thought anyway I'm going to solve detailed solutions later, in my opinion. But I was getting more and more response that okay, this paper was difficult. It's unfair to students. So I would like to review that paper, not in detail, but not so fast also. I would like to read the question, I would like to analyze, and I'll tell you the process how you can do it. It may be new question, it is not out of the concepts. How you can apply your regular concepts and get the answer is what I wanted to prove it. Let's read the problem. I have the question paper with you. Hope you also can see. Asset management company of the mutual fund has declared a dividend of 9.98%. Dividend means applicable on face value. And in fact, face value they have given here. Face value of 10 rupees given. So, you can calculate dividends. On the units under the dividend reinvestment plan for the year ended 31st March 2021, the investors are issued additional units for the dividend at the rate of closing NAV for the year as per the conditions of the scheme. The closing NAV was 24.95 on 31st March 2021. An investor, Mr. X, who is having 20,800 units at the end of year end, has made an investment in the units before declaration of dividend and at the rate of opening NAV at the entry load of 0.04. NAV is appreciated by 25% during the year. Assume face value 10. You're required to calculate opening NPV. Opening NAV, the easiest to calculate. It is appreciated by 25%. Closing NAV 24.95. So closing NAV is 125%. How much for 100%? 24.95 into 120. This represents 100. So divide by 100 into, divide by 125 into hundreds. How much that's going to be? Let me calculate quickly. 24.95 into 100 by 125. 19.96. That is opening NAV. And entry load of 0.04. So effective purchase price for him 19.06 plus 0.04 will be 20 rupees. Will be his offer price. The price at which he has invested. And how do we calculate the second part of it? Number of units purchased. We can assume number of units purchased to be X. And how much amount or amount to be purchased is X. Or amount of investment also you can say. And closing, okay, number of units purchased is X plus how many units he has received dividend on that. X into 10 rupees into 0.0998. This is the amount which is received, right? On dividend. This will be divided by NAV at the end of the year, which should be equal to the number of units, 20,800. And how do you calculate this NAV? They have given 24.95 and 0.0998, 9.98% on 10 rupees. That is on 10 rupees into 0.0998. That is 0.998. 0.998 you subtract from, you add it to 24.95 because this NAV would be come NAV, X NAV. You add 0.0998, you get the before declaration of dividend come NAV. That you divide by this, whatever the number you get, the 24.95 plus 0.0998, you get this number NAV. Solve for X, you get number of units purchased. Number of units purchased, purchase price 20 rupees. You get it, you get the answer. Done. And this kind of NAV reverse calculation was there in study material. It was there in practice manual. It was there in Hegde's Edge also. I can give the question number if you want. Let me read the second one. The bank enters into repo rate for 9 days with any in 6% government bonds for an amount of 2 crores. Other relevant data is given below. First leg payment, second leg payment, initial margin, days of accrued interest. Assume you are required to calculate repo rate, dirty price, clean price. Now, is this kind of question you have solved it earlier or not? This kind of question was there. I'm sure many people have ignored this question. That I'll ignore this question. And this kind of question has come slightly differently. That is, we used to calculate first leg of proceed, we used to calculate second leg of proceed, and based on that, we used to tell. Very simple, no? Based on the first leg and second leg, compute the difference. That is the interest you are paying. and that is the interest you are paying. At what rate you are going to pay? You are going to pay interest at the repo rate only. So find out the difference between the two. That will give you the amount of interest payable, divide by the first leg, that is a loan taken, into number of days, into the percentage, you get the interest amounts. And from the first leg, you will be able to calculate the repo rate calculated. Dirty price, how do we calculate? Dirty price is clean price plus interest accrued. Have they given the clean price? They have given what? Enter into 9 days with any 6% with amount of 2 crores. Okay. You see, for 2 crore face value, they have gone for 2 crore 06750. Can you compute the price? How 2 crore will become 2 crore 6750? So 6750 by 2 crore proportionately multiplied by 100 rupees face value. That is the dirty price. From that subtract accrued interest, you get clean price. Getting the point? How to solve? I'm not solving it in detail. I'll solve it in time later. But I just want to make sure that this is a paper you could have solved had you be very clear on your concepts. This reverse NAV question was there. Have you solved comfortably? Not just solve the problem, applying that thorough concepts. This reverse repo problem is also there. Where we used to compute first leg, second leg, and based on that we used to calculate the interest rate. Now it's second leg we used to calculate, first leg we used to calculate. How do we used to calculate first leg? The amount of face value into the clean price divided by face value of 100. Loan amount into the dirty price divided by 100. Now, the loan amount we know 2 crore. The first leg we know 2 crore 6750. Face value we know 100. Can't you calculate the dirty price? And difference between first leg and second leg, that is interest. Interest divided by the loan amount into 100 into number of days, 365 by 9. You get this one. Okay, third one. This is if you don't do it. I don't have any other answer to say. You have expected cash flow. You have certain equivalent factor. Cash flow into certain factor will give you certain cash flow that you divide by a firm's discounted cost of equity capital. So we will divide by what you have to calculate. Okay, so we have a cost of equity, we have cost of debt, present risk-free rate is given, market treasury bond, that is RF, and this will increase by 400 base points. So you can take it as 8%, 6% not 11, to find out the viability of the project, to advise the popularity of this method. So advisability of this project, you know certainty cash flow, you discount by cost of equity. I mean cost of capital. If when you're calculating the value of the cash flow from the entity point of view, you need weighted average cost of capital. So cost of equity is given, cost of debt is given. You can take a weighted average, and then discount it. You get the present value of it. That is if present value of that is given. Have they given investment? Expected cash flow, okay, so cost of equity, present risk-free rate of interest, cost of debts. Okay, initial investment is given. They have given 3 lakh within brackets outlays they have given, which means 3 lakh is investment. NPV you can calculate. If NPV is positive, we can say that it is if NPV is positive, we can say that project should be accepted. Why they can risk-free rate and all? CAPM model you can do RF plus RM minus RF into beta. Beta they are not given. Okay, then we can just compare. You compute the risk-free rate, which will increase by 8%. That is present risk-free rate 6% from this onwards. Okay, you just comment that cost of debt is 9%, risk-free rate is 6%. Okay, so which one you are going to use? Sorry, I think I should have told you that. Oh, you don't use the cost of equity, cost of rate. I'm sorry. The discounting rate is not cost rate, cost of equity. Discounting rate will be risk-free rate. In certainty equivalent factor, discounting rate will be risk-free rate. So what you can do, once you compute into certainty equivalent approach, you can do the present value and discount it using risk-free rate, which is going to be 6%. Increase by 200 base points means 8%, 2%, 6 plus 2 is 8. So you are going to use this as discounting factor, you get the NPV. Regarding the popularity of this bond, you can just comment based on this popularity of this project to advise the popularity of this method. Okay, this method again, it is more of a theory question, not a numerical question. Certainty equivalent factor does not consider risk element into consideration, which may not be appropriate because it completely ignores the risk element. So like that, you can write few comments. These are my opinion, okay? Institute answer can be different. I'm just trying to tell you how to approach this question paper to tell you these are not the new concepts. These are the concepts which were there. You did not apply clearly. Okay, let's come to the next one. NM Limited is aspiring to enter the capital market in 3 years' time. The board wants to attain the target price of 70 for the share at the end of 3 years. The present value of the share is 50.03. The dividend expected to grow at 15% for the next 3 years. NML uses dividend growth model for its projection. Required rate of return is 15%. You require to calculate amount of dividend to be declared by board in the base year to achieve the target price. Okay, this you can follow the format of multiple period dividend discount model. Did you solve that problem or not? There we used to calculate the price, and here the price they have given. Please observe what price they want to achieve. They want to achieve a target of 70 rupees, and present value of the share is 52.03. So from 52.03, if it has to become 70, what should happen? Very simple. Year 1, okay, if you write year as one column, you have 1 2 3. Okay, 1 2 3. Then cash flow, you have to start with assumption of, let's say, x. Dividend, some amount you have to start with assumption, and it's growing at 15%. So if you assume this as x, this will be 1.15x, this will be 1.15x square. So we got the dividend. Then uh, this I'm going to convert into future value. I can also do present value, or I can also do into future value. Or let's say year 4 onwards. Year 4 onwards, we write like this. Year 4 onwards, that is T3, at the end of third year. Year 4 onwards not required. At the end of third year, the price is 52.03, no, 70 rupees. So 370 rupees. You apply the present value. You got the present value, you multiply discounting factor, that number should be 70. Solve for x. How long it takes? X, 1.15x, 1.15x square. Or I just take a number x squared as not 1 point, yeah, not 1 square, sorry. If you take it as first one as x, next becomes 1.15x, other becomes 1.15 square x. That is getting compounded. Add, multiplied by the discounting factor, add it. And last year you take the price 70 rupees, multiplied discounting factor, do the total, present value you get, equal it to 52.03, solve for x. Concepts, not just blaming that institute is unfair. Anyway, okay, next, XY Limited considering a proposal to expand the plant capacity seriously, so amount of 5072 for next 3. The amount can be utilized towards annual lease rental 1:2:3. Tell me, is this kind of question there in study material or not? Lease rental in the ratio of 1:2:3. Upward rental, deferral, step up rental. You have that concept, right? That is based on this concept. Investor recently purchased a substantial number of 7-year 6.75% bond with 5% premium payable maturity. So you are having coupon 6.75%. Maturity period 7 years, 7-year period, and redemption premium. So face what is going to be redemption price? 1,000 plus 5%, 1,050, and the coupon is 6.75%. That is 675, no, 67.5 for a period of 7 years. You have given discounting factor for 7 years. Add all of them, you get annuity factor multiplied by the coupon. And then last year redemption price 1,040 multiplied by last year discounting factor. Add all of them, present value, you get market price. Duration, how to calculate? Year 1 column, cash flow 1 column, discounting factor, discount cash flow into year. YTM anyway they have given, discounted at 9%. You get the weight, the product column, do the total product column, divide by total number of years, total amount, the product column divided by total of the amount, you get the duration. What the duration by 1 plus YTM? Isn't the basic question in bond valuation? This also difficult? Then what else you are going to do in exams? Then revised YTM, required YTM, the new investor, new YTM, you can do interpolation method, or you can do coupon plus market price minus redemption price difference divided by number of years, whole divided by redemption price plus market price divided by 2, where market price will be 897. That's all. Is this a difficult question? I don't think so. SM Limited has a market capitalization of 3,000 crores and current earnings is 200. and price earning ratio 15. Okay, they have given market capitalization and they give earning per share and P ratio. So when you know the market capitalization, you know the price earning ratio, you can compute the net profit, and net profit, you know, EPS, you know, you can compute the number of shares. The proposal to buy 20% of the share, you just compute the number of shares, 20% of it, you get the number of shares that can be bought back at a premium, supported by financial, you know the number of shares to be bought back, the value you don't know. The board expects post buyback market price is 3057. Post buyback P ratio, P ratio, price earning ratio will remain same. Okay, very simple. You know the number of shares that you are having now, and 20% if you subtract, that will be the number of shares that will be there after buyback, and number of shares multiplied by market price will give you the market value, market cap. Post buyback P ratio will remain same. I mean P ratio will remain same. You know the number of shares. So number of shares, you know, P ratio, you know, and market price, you know. Market cap, I just told you how to calculate. Market price 3057 into number of shares market cap. Market cap divided by P ratio, you will get net profits. And if that net profit with existing net profit, EPS, you know, I mean existing net profit, don't know how to calculate. With this net profit, with that net profit, differential is the impact of buyback between current net profit and future net profit. That is the amount of interest I can pay, divided by 8% and after tax. And this kind of question was there in in mergers, where a CEO of a company want to buy the share of the company, levered buyouts. What should be the maximum purchase consideration such a way that EPS remains same? Have you solved that question in merger? You would have that would have come to your mind how to solve this. Once more, should I tell you? I'll tell you. Listen to me. How this question can be solved? 3,000 crores market cap divided by P ratio will give you net profit, divided by EPS will give you number of shares. Number of shares you multiplied by 20. That will give you the number of shares that can be bought back. So number of shares you have, bought back you have, when you subtract, you get the revised number of shares. Revised number of shares into market price, revised market cap divided by P ratio remaining same. What you get is net profit. Current net profit, you know, future net profit, you know, difference is the interest that you can afford, and this interest after tax. So divide by 8% into 1 minus tax rate, you get the number. How much marks? Okay, without even reading the question, I'm already telling you how much amount interest can be paid. The difference in net profit is interest. Loan amount, that the difference amount divided by interest 8% into after tax. Premium per share, you know the loan amount. Loan amount divided by number of shares. Loan amount is a consideration divided by number of shares. That will give you the buyback price compared with the existing market price. How do you calculate existing market price? EPS into 15 rupees. That difference is the premium they're paying. What, my dear friends? Okay, aggregate now proposing for equity plan of 12 crores, making a right issue. Current price of 40, the board is willing to offer. Okay, this right issue. Again, had you solved the right issue problem, a similar problem, it is there in Hegde's Edge book also, but slightly different, I understand, but not beyond your control. How? Read. The first thing I always tell my students in the examination is trust yourself. And second, connect with the problem already solved. Okay, what you have? Read the problem. Current market price 40, very good. Board is willing to offer discount of 40%. So 40, if you take out 20%, what? It will become 36. So what is 36? Is the right issue price. And board is also desires to maximum fall in X right price to be 10% of current market price. So from 40, if you subtract 10%, you get 38. This should be X rights. And how do you calculate X right price? X right price is calculated as ratio base. If I do 40 rupees come right price into the ratio, let's say take a ratio as X, and then what will be the ratio, what will be the right issue price, that is 36, that will be the ratio of Y, and divided by sum of those two, X plus Y. Ratio problem, foundation you do it, or otherwise the simple shortcut you have. Mathematical institute cannot give simpler number than this. We have the number 48, which is come right. We have the number 36, which is right issue, and we have to get 38. Simple average, isn't it? 40 plus 36 divided by 2 is 38. So without even calculating, you get as equal ratio 1:1. One ratio for every one share, 1:1, because simple average, you don't have to calculate. Okay, Number of new equity shares to be issued. Okay, now ratio you got it. 1:1 should be the ratio. So what is going to be your what is going to be number of shares? 12 crore is the amount required. Right issue price is 36. 12 crore by 36 gives you number of shares. Number of shares to be offered. Got it? Uh, Number of new equity shares to be offered for each rights held, and number of equity shares to be issued. I think this is they're slightly confused with them. But anyway, so I told you how to compute the number of shares that has to be issued. Theoretical value of rights, X right minus cum right is theoretical value of right. And what is the total number of shares you can do? Existing number of shares. 1:1 is the ratio. So whatever number of shares you have, that is the number of shares you're going to issue. If I add the total, if I add the two, I get the total number of shares existing plus issued. Can calculate, not a difficult one. Credit sales of 6 crores, receivable 15%. Okay, this is regarding how much this what evaluation of credit factoring. So we used to calculate what benefit you are going to get usually, but in this case, what is the maximum amount which you can offer the commission to the factor? So whatever benefit you get, net benefit you get, savings in the collection, savings in the bad debt, saving the administration cost, you compute no cost benefit analysis, you compute whatever the net benefit, that's the maximum commission you can pay. If requires a commission of 2.5% credit sales, then you check whether net benefit is positive negative. Okay, so this is regarding factoring commission. Okay, sir, mutual fund problem, sir, dividends, sir, not given, sir, difficult problem, sir. Let's read this. Strong and AMC has floated a dividend from bonus plan on 1st April 2016. At a certain net asset value, the fund has robust growth and declared dividend of 1:5. Bonus 5 for 5 units held, 1:5. Then later 1:4. Then fund on generated an average yield of 17.5. Optimistic made an investment of 16 lakh before the declaration dividend. The following NAV is available. You're required to advise opening NAV, which is to calculate the capital appreciation. This kind of reverse calculation also we had done. In fact, I think 1 or 2 attempts back only this similar kind of question was there. How do we calculate? When did he purchase? He purchased on 30th September 2019. And when is his data given? 30th September 2021. So 1.5 years. So you can calculate what is the yield he is getting, how much amount he has invested. He has an investment of 16 lakh. On 16 lakh, you apply 17.5% multiplied by 1.5 years, you get the future value or value after 1.5 years. That divided by 100, the NAV, you get number of units. In between NAV does not matter because it's a bonus plan. And how do you get the ratio? Very simple. In fact, the problem which I was done in the previous question paper was dividend also was not given. We used to calculate that as X. I solved in my regular classes. Anyway, so the amount of investment 16 lakh into 17.5% for 1.5 years, you get the value plus 16 lakh will get the ending value. Ending value divided by NAV will give you number of units. Number of units work backwards. 1:4 means what? If you have 4, you get 1, total 5. So how do you work backwards? The number of whatever amount you have divided by units will get divided by NAV, you get number of units. This number of units represents 5. How much for 4? Then that represents 6. How much for 5? Got it? You got the answer in 2 seconds. I mean 2 minutes. Okay, Mr. A is having 1 lakh of the shares. The beta of the company is 1.4. Mr. Y is an advisor and suggests the following portfolio. Market return 12%, risk rate 8%. You're required to calculate the following for present investment and suggested portfolio. What is present investment? You're having RF8, RM12, beta 1.4, RF plus RM minus RF into beta. That is the current 1.4. You get expected return. What is going to be the revised one? Calculate the weighted average. Holding is given. You get the portfolio beta. Using that portfolio beta, RF8, RM12, portfolio beta, what you calculated? You get the CAPM for the revised portfolio. So you calculated CAPM for the current portfolio, CAPM for the revised portfolio. Okay, if what is the expected return, and also if market goes up by 10-20%, beta, what do you mean by beta? If market goes up by 2.5%, 2.5% into 1.4, that's what your portfolio likely to go by. Same thing you apply for the revised portfolio beta. If market goes down by 2.5%, your portfolio will go down by 1.4 times of it. This is my opinion, okay? Institute solution can be different. If the market goes negative return of 2.5%, negative 5, 2.5% means expected market return is 12%. If 12 becomes 2.5, negative means 12, 12 become minus 2.5. So what is it likely to be down by? It's supposed to be 12%, but 12% becomes minus 2.5. So basically market is down by 14.5%. What would happen? If the probability of the market giving negative return is more, please advise whether to continue the holdings or buy the portfolio. If the probability of market giving negative return is more, okay. So what you should do then? Look at the beta. I don't know the number. You calculate the beta. 1.4 here. Suppose if this is 1.8, when negative market is likely to happen, would you like to invest in a higher beta portfolio, lower beta portfolio? You know, higher beta means higher risk, lower beta means lower risk. So if 1.4 is higher, then recommend go to the new portfolio. If 1.4 is less, then you see that be in the current holding only. Understood? Okay, Raghu is interested in expanding operation, planning to install US dollar requiring 8.82 million. GDR calculation. Please don't tell me you did not do this problem. How many times is there in Institute RTP, MTP previous year question papers? Okay, sir, new question, sir. How it can be new question? They said estimate market price of GDR is rupees 360. The face value 72. Historic discount of 10%. So 360 into 90% divided by 72. That is the value of GDR and multiplied by 2, of course. One GDR will expect 2 shares. So 360 rupees into 2 shares into 90% divided by 72, value of 1 GDR. And how many number of shares to be issued? 8.82 million. But this is after 2% we want. So 8.82 million after 2% means 8.82 represents 102%. Because if I collect if I have 100 rupees, I pay 2 rupees. So this represents 92%. So not 102, 98%. So 8.82 million represents 98%. How much for 100%? Total amount of issue to be made divided by whatever the issue price you calculate just now. That will give a number of GDR to be issued. You are, as a financial consultant, you're required to compute the number of GDRs, okay, and the cost of GDR. Cost of GDR, like a dividend D1 by P0 plus G. What is D1? Dividend expected 12% of the face value. Growth rate given divided by P0, net price, net proceeds. That is whatever the issue price multiplied by 98%. That will be the P0. So D1 by P0 plus G. Using that formula, you can compute the cost of GDR. What's the suggestion if you are getting an interest of 12%? Okay. If cost of GDR is 14%, I don't know the number. If this 12%, then you choose a loan is cheaper. So whichever is cheaper, you recommend that. As easy as that. How much company can save by choosing the option as recommended by you? Difference between these two is savings. Cost of GDR and with respect to interest is what is the saving is going to be. On 1st of October 20, exporter entered in forward contract and request importer to take a bill delivery on 30th November. Early delivery. I'm sure many people did not do this. Early delivery, you don't do it. Cancellation forward contract, you don't do it. Sir, it was difficult, sir. If that question comes, I leave it, sir. When question paper like this, these known questions will help you know better. What is the thumb rule? First, do you know the problems which are already solved in the class? Solve that first. If you have solved, you get the confidence to solve any further set of questions. Don't look for the new questions. Focus on your roots. The trees will grow automatically. You should not look at tree growing. Focus on the roots. Focus on the concepts. The tree will grow automatically. Okay. Mammon, Indian investor, invested in listed bond in USA. If the price of the bond, okay, international portfolio, price of the bond is 100 today, 103 later, coupon rate is 3%. So basically you get 6%. Find the return of investment if home currency, if USD is flat, then return in USD, 3 plus 3, 6% is your return. USD appreciated by 3%, then 6 plus 3 approximately 9%, but 6 plus 3 should not do because you should do 1 plus portfolio return into 1 plus currency return, currency appreciation. Multiplication model you should do 1 plus 0.06 into 1.03. INR rupee appreciate by USD depreciate by 3%, so you should subtract 1 plus 0.06 into 1 minus 0.03. That will give you INR rupee appreciate by 3 plus 5%. You can do approximately, you can say that if INR appreciates by 5%, dollar depreciates by 5%, approximately, you can write it. That is following ulti model. Or you can assume $1 is 50 rupees. Then if it is appreciated by 5%, approximately, what will be the percentage impact on USD? You can follow that method. Will your answer be different if I invest in bond just before interest payable? Just before interest payable, Just before interest payable, actual answer is not going to be different because anyway you follow come interest method, right? Just before interest also you're going to receive the interest. You would have paid for it. So it would not be different in my opinion. I see a solution can be different. In my opinion, it will not be different. Then answer the following theory questions. I don't want to read. Cross border. There exists difference between project and parent cash flow. Okay, theory questions. I don't want to go through it. That's all. It's possible, right? I explained the steps, but I don't have time to explain. It's 12:30 in the night now. Morning I have 6:30 class, so I don't have time to solve it. But I'm sure after the exam, I'm going to release a detailed answer key, in my opinion, as I just explained to you now. Do you really think these concepts are beyond your control? What you should have done? It's this point is not to tell you that I can solve the problem. It pains me when students told me, sir, paper is difficult, we could not solve it. It really pains me. Whether you are my students or not, I don't know. But I just wish the students should not lose marks for lack of their efforts. And you should not get complaints like, oh, new syllabus was easy. For us, how it is difficult. Do you know new syllabus pain on FR? How the content of the FR? Have you compared the old syllabus FR and new syllabus FR? Do it, you understand. New syllabus people, easy it seems. Don't compare, my dear friends. Their life is different, our life is different. And don't continue same habit in future also. No, that person has family background. Nepotism, I don't know how to grow. If we keep finding the reasons, excuses, when will you grow? And a caution for new syllabus students, next time it can be complicated. But having said all these things, what is that you need to keep it in mind? What is the lessons for us? If you want to face something new, don't go for the new. Focus on your existing roots. If you want blood in your body, don't drink blood. Eat food that generate blood. If you want to solve the new questions, focus on existing question. Are you thorough with the existing concept? If existing question comes, can you solve that? Are you thorough in it? If I change the question existing slightly, are you able to answer? If you're confident existing problem and concepts thoroughly, any new question you can face it. Anyway, let me end this session by telling my common conclusion, my common example. When a bird sits on a tree, it does not mean the branch of the tree does not break. The bird has the confidence it can fly. Confidence is not about knowing all the answers. It's being prepared to face any questions. Let any new question come, SFMFR. Let any new challenge come in life. Maybe your marriage also. Let any new problem comes. If you want to solve a new question, equip yourself. If you want to solve new thing in life, have confidence. I can solve. Confidence is not knowing about all. Confidence is not about knowing all the answers. It is being prepared to face any questions. And if you are having that mindset of I don't know what to do, please don't come to stock market. You're definitely going to lose. It's not in our control. Anyway, so I'll just conclude, my dear friends. Just to say that question paper is within the gambit of your level, provided you're conceptually thorough. So concepts is what I would make you, or I would request you to follow. And if you're my students, my favorite example is there, a plus b whole square. The difference between learning the formula, applying the concept. Had you known that basic principle, I'm sure you would not be able to do it. So I hope this session was somewhat useful. And I hope this session can give you some confidence in other papers or other people, whichever way you are going to lead in your life. Have confidence. Let things come. Have confidence. 2008 depression came. Corona came, stock market is still there. Okay, so anyway, I'll be carried away. I'll be again going to stock market. So that's it, my dear friends. I hope this session was useful. Do take care. See you. Bye bye.